my sound string up on the long. You know see a mic.
Pull up them tune there, tell them tune is massive. Yo! And that's all crew I tell you. Big sound string up.
My sound string up on the long. Tell you say my sound string up on the long. You know see a my sound string up on the long.
Brite Lite Promotions, Bad Indian in the house, Tech 9 Sound, Tech 9 Movements. What's going on with you? Introduce yourself.
Bad Indian, Tech 9 Movements. Mad. They have a reason with you, know, that documentary, that interview, I want to call it a documentary, kind of historical kind of thing. But it's up to you still, you know, whatever you want to know, you have to just ask.
I like that.
Yeah.
Let's start up with the history of Bad Indian. Me personally, I knew you before you got on Tech 9 Sound. You was playing a bad sound from Jamaica called Black Blunt.
Yeah.
Alright. I don't know if that's where the history started from, but let's take it from the start. Bad Indian, as a selector, where did you start actually playing music?
Well, actually, I started playing. My first big sound I take on was 1999. One sound from England named After Dark, a Clarendon. Because my original Clarendon, you know, one little place named Moko. But then said be a fool people come from. But that's where the Indian start from. Original, my first big major crowd of me take on was 1989. My uncle, because I grew up around music. You know, their country, uncle have a little son, and me and my brother and my little cousin, them always run it and mess around with it. So
What's the name of your uncle's son?
Chief Sonic.
Okay.
Them time then, you know, take on a little son and I play it and it become a hot little thing a country where every little party a country I hit upon it. Them time me not talk about one turntable, me I tell you about one turntable them time, not two turntable. One turntable them time. We have all 5 records on one turntable and you have to learn to talk, and it was a them time there was the days, them time they did nice. You know what I say? And I like no, but
You had any artists around sound at that time?
nah, actually them time, you know, little sound and not really no big sound I can hire and pay an artist or
Alright, so you got your training wheels on with your uncle's sound.
Yeah.
What was the first sound that actually recognized Bad Indian talent and hired you to actually play as a selector on the sound?
You did have a sound named Power Sir. That was like a bigger sound for my uncle little sound. Like it play a bigger events and them things.
Which part of Jamaica?
Same place our country, Moko, Clarendon. You know, rest him soul. You know what I say?
Alright, so you say it's Clarendon, so at that point in time, you guys, did you play any dance with Spinner's Choice or Bodyguard or anything at that point?
Alright. Move from there, so I start play one sound, this sound name After That. These are the biggest of this big sound. You know, we start play with all kind of sound. 4x4 Exodus, Nuclear Exodus, Kilimanjaro, play with Bodyguard, Pieces Run from me and Moby. And a whole heap of big sound, I can't even tell you because...
Okay, hold on. Pause. When you say Pieces Run from you,
yeah.
This was the time when I'm Striking Them was playing Pieces?
Yeah, like them time was Pieces was, I think this was like in 95, 96.
Okay.
Around them.
After Dark.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you reach from After Dark at that point in time to Black Blunt? When did Black Blunt start and when did you make your impact on Black Blunt?
Alright, actually, me used to play a City Rock, you know.
Okay.
We played City Rock 1 year and 6 months and cut a week before the Rascal left it. And from City Rock, I started playing a sound named Jam Beat. A whole of and Jam Beat are the sound that really like push me out there. Cause you know, This are the thing with big sound with name selector. When you're on a sound, a big sound with big name selector upon it, you as a little selector, it's hard for you, people get to see you. Because nobody no want to see you. They want to see the big man. You understand what I say? So they want to sit there. Badras was a general upon it. Nobody no want to see body in there. And Genius, the dead Genius used to play Jaro. Rest your soul in peace, my general. Him the dead too. And you have Balla Prince. He have some bad selector upon the sound. You know what I say? So it's kind of hard for me shine. Me did have my little crowd. You know what I say? And my little ratings and thing. But when I do so boom, I'm left sitting right now. I got jam beat. And that's how they think kind of upgrade, step up and start shoot.
Let me ask you a question. As a low selector, you say you was fighting against, not fighting against, but you had to compete against Genius and the biggest selectors on the sound.
Yeah.
At that point in time, in Jamaica, were you actually lifting the boxes, stringing up the sound? Do you have that knowledge of actually being a technician on the sound?
Yeah, because the sound, alright, from After Dark, me used to lift box from After Dark, play the sound, lift box, pack up the sound pan truck, and bring back the sound home. And if the sound I leave from one venue to another venue at the same procedure. And me used to do that thing there pan the same thing there pan jam beat. Me never used to lift box pan city rock. Me used to do that with jam beat. You know?
Okay. Alright, so the years you move from sound to sound, and I want to point this out because a lot of people online try to diss selectors when they move from sound to sound. But I've interviewed selectors such as Danny Dredd, who have played numerous sounds. And when you were selected that move from sound to sound, it's also a reason. It's because you're in demand as a selector.
It's not, sometimes, brother, it's not really say in demand. When you're in demand, your sound where you play at. But sometimes you have some boss when I respect them workers. And me is the type of person like this. Respect go where respect come from for me. If you respect me, I'm loyal with you until the day life left my body. But once you go act like you want abuse and disrespect and nah, my style, that me go cut. You know what I'm saying? And that's where most of the time at that time the boss man them pack up them sound and give up on the business. Kind of Jamaica and you have a whole heap of sound in.
Shout out to all of the selectors that do it for the music.
For real.
They work with tough bosses. Shout out to Stumpy Sound. Look out for the interview. Check it out on Brite Lite Promotions. All right, let's get to Black Blunt.
Yeah.
Because Black Blunt was a sound that was actually doing their thing in Jamaica. You was one of the selectors on the sound. Shout out to Youngblood. He playing with Red Heat right now. Shout out to the Red Heat crew. Let's talk about your career on Black Blunt Sound. How did you get on Black Blunt Sound? And tell us a little bit about the history.
Alright, Black Blunt now come by. Me I play jam beat. This a one sound when me leave for go Black Blunt because this was an opportunity for my career left from one level to the next. You know, I say, I sit down with my boss and I talk to him, and him are the one who actually encouraged me to go. Right? So I do some boom and I go to Black Blunt. I start playing Black Blunt when it's a 3 month old. I see people talk about Avatar.
When it just started.
Yeah, yes. 3 months. Them time Black Blunt did hot, you know. Them 3 months, I one of the fast see sound me see just come up and just and yam down the place. So like, you know, it a go hard. 3 months, I start play. When Black Blunt with a World Clash 09, was 9 months old. You know what I say? Take that sound and we turn it in a monster, niggle. Me have to say big up Youngblood, Force Ripe, Master G. You understand me? I say Blacks, Missile. We are the original. Nigga we run the sound and build it, and Black Blunt was one of the most feared like a young sound in the countryside of Westmoreland of Jamaica. I not lie, like there's a lot of sound where we put fear in it. Not saying like it's something where you purposely do, you know, but when you put in the work there out there and people start see it and embrace the work where you put in, yeah, it make other sound man think twice when them a come up against you. You know what I say? And Black Blunt was a sound where whole heap a good time and whole heap a sad time around that sound there, but I rate it because it put me on another level.
Okay. Black Blunt was a sound that a lot of people, when you hear the name, you would be familiar with Avatar playing the sound. But you and your cousin also came to America and you were playing Black Blunt as well.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about when you migrated from the Jamaica to the US playing Black Blunt and what you did for the sound still.
Alright. When I leave Jamaica and come here, I wasn't playing Black Blunt. I came here, I wasn't doing no music for like a year. And then one of my friends come to me one day and was like, yeah, what happened to the sound I heard? I said, me have it, Ray. And him say, alright, launch the sound, boy, yeah, man, Ray, I think we go on because people, boy, know about the sound and them rate the sound. And so I said, for real? And him say, yes. And I just a boom, so I link the boss and I tell him what I go on. And him say, yes. And I just a boom and I take on the road, I build a Facebook page with the sound and all type of thing. And then now, a bag of things start going with the sound. I start get news from Jamaica and people start spread rumor upon me and them shit. As I tell you, like, I don't like take certain things. So I just a boom, so I call the boss and I talk to him and I just a boom and I come sit out for your ear and hold up a little link I make and this and that people are make link for me get to a sound. And
Alright, but before you took that step, I would say that as a Sound Clash fan in New York, I seen you actually represent Black Blunt in New York. You did a good job. You decided to move on. How did your connection come about with Tech Nine Sound, that you joined Tech Nine Sound?
Alright, actually, Tech Nine was a sound of me from a come to New York. The first time I hear Tech Nine sound play was in Manhattan because I used to live in Harlem. And I remember one night, Blunt Posse anniversary, Pretty Rick and FADA Tech come at the dance and thing. Them time though, me just come a foreign. I never hear like a real selector which can give me that vibes that when me leave from yard. You know what I say? And me there in a Buzz Sports bar one night. Blunt Posse anniversary, as me say, and Tech Nine sound come there. And him and Pretty Rick, they did that. That was in like 2010. That was in 2010.
2010.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when Pretty Rick go around the sound and me hear the man start talking, me I say, yo, that youth here. And then now tune start playing and him start talking. And then I go to one of my bridge and I say to him, say, yo, no, me feel like one Jamaican selector in our building. Not knowing that Pretty Rick is not a yard man. You know what I say? But he was like, he must destroy the club.
Okay. So you got an impression from Tech Nine Sound.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, me personally, I know you playing Black Blunt Sound. I know you was a selector that was in New York. A lot of sound owners was calling, asking about you.
Yeah.
What made you make the transition from Black Blunt to Tech Nine Sound?
Because Tech Nine Sound was a sound when I admire the sound.
Okay. All right. You said that. You heard the sound.
Yeah.
You admired the sound.
I'm like the sound.
When the call actually came in,
Alright,
for
actually,
you to represent Tech Nine Sound, tell us about that.
actually, it's funny, you know, because this is where the whole thing go down. Like, me and Lion, I talk one day, and Lion said to me, say, like, who sound you see a New York where you represent for? And I say, big man thing, you know, a two sound, I say, boy, yeah, when I really like and think me that play. If me get the opportunity, and him say, oh, and I tell him, I say, yo, Cosmic Tech Nine. And him said to me, say, too bad sound. And it's like, now, one day me there home, one night me there home, and Lion link my phone and say, yo, your dream come true. And I say, what dream you talk about? And I say, what dream you talk about? Zane? And him said to me, say, your dream come true. And I say, yo, stop playing my dream you talk about. And him said to me, say, Tech link me. And I say, for real? And he said to me, say, what me fi tell him? Say, I say, Lion, you know answer for that already, man. Nobody asked me that, man. And him laugh. I say, what you talk about? And Mr. Lion, you know the answer already. And him say, alright, here we go. I'm going to link the Dan and make you and him chat already. And I say, yeah.
Shout out to Lion, Donovan. Shout out to the whole Yard Beat crew. Check us out on YouTube once again. Brite Lite Promotions. Check out the Yard Beat. Donovan is heavy with the Yard Beat crew right now. That's actually your cousin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a musical thing. It's a musical family. It's a beautiful thing.
Real talk.
Okay, so you made the link. You joined Tech Nine Sound. You got the box. You played a couple of dances with Tech Nine Sound so far.
Mm-hmm.
You're feeling comfortable. We're moving into December 16th, Global Clash. What's your thoughts on Global Clash?
Global Clash is an exciting lineup. I have to big up Andrew Digital.
Yeah, it's a big clash. You know what I'm saying? It's a big clash.
We have to big up Andrew Digital because
we gonna toast up. We gonna toast up.
Yeah. You know, Andrew, I'm gonna lift my glass with a lineup here, cause the lineup here. But one of the thing is, you have two of my sound man friend them on the dancer where me have to go kill. But nothing wrong with that. Me attend the funeral. Me have suit already and all of that. But as I said, the lineup here is a good lineup. I love the lineup and thing. People, the dance here, I gotta be one historical dance. You see me, I say, I'm gonna make, me personal, I think about to make the Global Clash here kind of a historical dance. Just like how FADA take create history, and I see him take out garbage out of rubbish and dust it off and turn it in a diamond and platinum. And
How many clashes have you actually worked on Tech Nine so far?
1, 2. This will be my wait. 1, 2, 3. This will be my 4th time.
All right. Global Clash 2016. Tech Nine. Look out for the dance. Bad Indian. He's gonna represent. Brite Lite Promotions, FADA Tech, front of the room, we back. Lots to talk about. We gonna start off with Tech Nine Sound. We did an interview a couple months back, I'm saying, but we were speaking about what you actually do for the business as a promoter. Let's talk about actually Tech Nine the Sound. My first memory of you as a selector was on the Clip Sound. But when did you actually decide to start Tech Nine Sound? And tell us a little bit about the history about the sound.
Well, actually, Tech Nine was before Eclipse. 1993, first time my hands touched actual vinyl. And started a sound called Blackland, which was a little area sound, because the area I grew up in was Lincoln and Troy. So after a couple of dances as Blackland, I said, you know what? Since high school, my name was Tech Nine. Let me just go back into Tech Nine. And I started Tech Nine in '94.
You was like running around the street with a Tech Nine. How you got that name?
Honestly, I got caught with one in high school.
Okay.
And instead of the teacher turning me into the police, he kind of put me on like what you would say administrative duty as punishment. Like I would stay after school and help out around the principal's office and stuff like that.
That was obviously before Giuliani came to the power. But all right, let's talk about you building Tech Nine the Sound.
Right. So '94, I decided to start Tech Nine officially. End of '93 into '94. So like I said, the area was Lincoln and Troy, where we always would gather around.
When you talk about Lincoln and Troy,
I'm talking about the real.
And you
Lincoln
talk about
Troy.
'93 and '94.
Yeah.
What's some of the sounds at that point in time that made you inspire yourself to build a sound?
Honestly, the two sounds that I would say inspired me to play music would be a sound called Silver Star and a sound called Web. Silver Star was the first sound I ever heard play Sizzler, period. You know, they it was, we lived on the same block, but they was the kinds, you know, like bridge the light posts and stack up high speakers, and their rival at the time would be Web International. And then as a little dude, I'm still in high school, you know, and I'm watching this, and I'm sitting on my roof, you know, watching down the block and listening to everybody play music. Then I remember that's when Eclipse came around also, but they were never on St. John's. We lived on St. John's, and Eclipse always strung up on Lincoln and Troy. But when I say the real Lincoln and Troy, I'm talking about before the feds bust the corner and deported 80 people and all of this, when Lincoln and Troy every night was gunshots. You know, the like what you would think about Jamaica, you would see on Lincoln and Troy. You know, the beef with the 90s and the beef with Schenectady, all of that. I was in the middle of that, watching it as a little young youth. So being that I hung on Lincoln and Troy, Eclipse was the sound for all the bad men over there. So the owner saw me play music one time. I'll never forget the first time I ever played music on Eclipse. My hand was like this. I couldn't even hold the needle because the place was rammed, and you know, everybody was watching, and I never played in front of no big crowd yet. So then when I played the first song, it was Shabba Ranks on 45, Shine and Chris, and the place erupted. I don't think I ever got nervous again after that. Just started playing my music, got the acceptance, and it was Eclipse for 2 years. That little thing happened, and I just picked back up Tech 9 in 97.
Okay, so 97, you started Tech 9 Sound, and we move into present with Tech 9 Sound, Tech 9 Promotions, a lot of different hats. But let's start back with 97. You started the sound, Tech 9 Sound. What was the first dubplate you cut?
Oh man, it was a local artist named General Kid. He was just in the area, but he was the wickedest New York artist I've ever heard. And his dubs would get you a forward anywhere around Crown Heights. And I voiced 10. You know, I still have them.
Okay.
I still have them up to this day.
Original New York artist, General Kid.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, 97, you voiced your General Kids, you started out. When did you actually start going out on the road with Tech 9 Sound, started getting on flyers with Tech 9 Sound? What was your first major dance on Tech 9 Sound?
My first major dance, clashing or juggling?
Juggling.
Okay, my first major dance would be 1998. The very first Flatbush versus Crown Heights.
Okay. Was that your own promotion?
Yeah, Tech 9 promotion.
Okay, so in addition to billing the sound, you was also billing your promotion at the same time?
No, actually, I was starting promoting in 95.
Okay.
Well,
So-
I kept one of the very few hooky parties and teen parties in
Yo, let's not go.
No, I'm talking about Biltmore.
That's some real hood shit that I don't
Yeah,
want to go
Biltmore,
into right
not
now.
no house party and stuff
Shout out
like
to
that.
Johnny Killer. Shout out to Black Steel 4x4. Like, I used to be in these hooky parties. We're not gonna bring up none of that.
But
right
I'm just
now.
trying to show you how
Yeah.
far this thing goes.
Okay. Let's talk about the first major dance that Tech 9 Sound played, Clash. Because it's Brite Lite
Flatbush versus Crown
Promotions.
Heights, actually.
Who was the sound you clashed against?
It was Tech 9. It was Tech 9 Bulletproof and Eclipse. Tech 9 Bulletproof and Vigilante versus.
Shout out to Vigilante Sound, 'cause I seen somebody spoke about them as recent as today online.
Right,
But-
right.
all right.
Vigilante is a sound that started with us. We started a crew called Triple Threat Crew, and our rivals was All Star Squad. And actually, there was a dance where All Star Squad was gonna clash Triple Threat, and a shootout happened at Caribbean Dome, and after that, it just never acquired again because All Star Squad, everybody went their separate ways again. And then before that, I would say you asked who was the three sounds that we clashed. It was Tech 9, Bulletproof, and Vigilante versus 3 Crown Heights sound. At the time, we represented Flatbush, and we won it 3 years straight. And then the 4th year, in 2002, we lost to Emperor Star and Crown Heights and whoever was on that team at the time.
All right. Shout out to Scorpion. Yeah, exactly.
No, Scorpion never played it at the time. It was always Brad.
Okay, all right. But I know my history still.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out to all them old hooky parties, the Crown Heights versus Flatbush series, all that. Tech 9 Sound as a whole, you moved up from there. When was your first major clash against a sound that we would know as the fans of Brite Lite Promotions, the top tier sounds? What was your first top tier clash?
Well, at the time, King Feli was a top tier sound. And we clashed them, and we won that dance. They won't admit it, but we won the dance. And it's just you know what it is? We clash so many different kind of sounds. Like, I think I've seen so much of the world because of sound.
All right. You came up through New York with the hood rivalries, Tech 9, because when you speak of King Feli, I know exactly who you're speaking of. But again, let's talk about the big sounds.
You talk about
when was your first major clash against a big sound?
That would be 2009 in Europe. Tech 9 Poison Dart versus Sentinel and Supersonic, who were the top 2 sounds at that time.
Yes. Tell us about that experience. You were representing with Pretty Ricky at that time.
Right. Pretty Ricky and Tarantula was on the sound at the same time playing a talking mic. And we gave them hell, man. We gave them hell. That was I would say that would be one of the closest dances I've ever been in. Like, it was neck and neck. Tune for tune was tied up. You know, they won 2 rounds, we won 2 rounds, and it came down to the one last tune. You know, It was to the point where when we walked through the crowd, the people would stop us and say, "You won." And, you know, it was just so controversial. But they came away with the win, and we just moved on from there.
Okay. A lot of sounds, I've done a lot of interviews, a lot of sounds, they brag about the trophies, they pull out the trophies, whatnot. What are some of the major trophies that Tech 9 Sound has won?
You know, I made a mistake, you know. That wasn't my first big dance. My first big dance was Busway 2005. In Busway 2005 in Baltimore. Tech 9, Guns N' Roses with Tasha, Revolution, Bass Odyssey, Black Cat, and a sound called Trinity, an area sound. And we won that dance. That was the same year we clashed with King Feli.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Right.
Who on bass? Who was playing Bass Odyssey at that time?
It was Damien and Worm.
Okay.
Squingy was still alive, though.
Okay. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, so we gonna move forward. Anything else you want the fans to know about the history of Tech 9 Sound that you feel like you haven't gotten the chance to express online, or the fans themselves don't know about Tech 9 Sound? What are some of the ups, some of the downs with Tech 9 Sound that you feel like you're gonna let people know on Brite Lite Promotions right now?
Well, one thing I see that people are really making big deals about is trophies. And we know that fans are always about what have you done lately. They don't really care about history. They just want to know what they're seeing now. But when you talk about Tech 9 history, and if you want to really bring up trophies, you have to bring up, I got at least 15 trophies over these years. You know what I'm saying? We won the first 3 Flatbush versus Crown Heights. We have the Guyana versus Trinidad trophy. We have Busway 2005 trophy. You understand? We have Warpath trophy. We have Warpath trophy. We have New Jersey Cup clash. You know, we won 4 out of 5 clashes in the year 2014. We have FADA. So when you talk about trophy, if you come to my house, you see a line of trophies. on top of my entertainment center.
Okay. I'm going to be honest, as a fan of the Sound Clash business, I got to ask you a question. You lost a major part of the sound system in Puerto Rico. Was it an adjustment period where you felt like the sound did not perform or you did not make the decisions that you were supposed to make after the passing of Puerto Rico to get the sound back to the level that you wanted it to?
Well, here's the thing with Rick. Rick has been around the sound since '99, and he died in 2011. So he was embedded in the sound, like the sound was Rick, and Rick was the sound. You understand? So he knew everything about the sound. When the dubs was cut, he was there. So there wasn't nothing he didn't know about the sound. So when he passed away, it was a very hard adjustment for me to try and find that vibe again, which is why I played Brooklyn Massacre myself and talked to Mike. And I never really talked to Mike before. But I looked at it as it would be an embarrassment for me to not keep the sound going to uphold what Rick was doing on the sound. Because Rick made a lot of noise around the sound. He was very aggressive. You understand? And that's what was needed on Tech Nine Sound, because we cut our tunes very aggressive. You know, all these people talk about rewrite tunes. We've been doing that since 2000. You know what I'm saying?
You made a decision to add a well-known selector in the business to the sound.
Right.
In Juxi Killer. Was that something that you regret? The period of Juxi Killer being on Tech Nine was short-lived. Was that something that you regret? Was that something that you felt like you made the wrong decision?
No, I don't regret any selector that I put on the sound, because there was a reason why they were on the sound. The reason Juxi was on the sound because Juxi had a very healthy history with sound business. You know, and the reason why he's not on the sound is because I'm very big on loyalty. You know what I'm saying? If I'm loyal to you, I expect a loyalty back. I don't want nobody to feel that anybody is bigger than the sound I built. I didn't build this sound with nobody. Nobody pays for my dubs. Nobody helps me with anything. I did it. But I don't, even I, Tech Nine, the owner of the sound, is not bigger than my sound.
Okay, speaking of that, who were the members, the current members of Tech Nine Sound? And I know your sound is based in different countries. You have different branches. Explain to the people right now who are the members of Tech Nine Sound, and where are they based? Okay,
you have Bad Indian, Montana, Ace, Mountain Dew, Popeye, Brian, you have Craig, and you have Easy. That's just New York. Then you have Marvin, Warren, Nico, Naco. That's Trinidad. You have Rome, representing the Virgin Islands. And you have the solo sound killer named Gabo. Call him the Great White Hope, representing Europe. And that's Tech Nine movement.
Okay. Before we move on to other things, the Sound Tech Nine promotions, the decision for you to franchise the sound and have it in different places, where did that come about?
Well, okay, let me give you a basis on why I decided before I tell you where it came from. You see, with this business, you have to build a legacy for yourself so that when you're past and gone, people remember you for certain things. My mentality was I refuse to be remembered for the U.S. alone. I don't want to be remembered as a New York sound. So I said, I met Gabo at Amazora at one of the world clashes. You know, he played a sound called Raga Kings at the time. And we kept in touch, and eventually he wanted to join the sound, and he joined the sound. Now, the Virgin Islands, that came about since '94. I took a trip to the Virgin Islands, and the link made there. You know, the original members aren't there anymore, but I kept the Virgin Island name going with Rome, who's from St. Thomas. And then you have Trinidad now. Me and Nico are family. So that's how that came about.
Okay. I've heard rumors, your connection to Trinidad, your connection to Africa as well. We gonna keep it real. It's Brite Lite Promotions right now. Your connection to Trinidad. Where's Tech Nine really from?
New York. It's
Okay.
a U.S. sound.
Okay. Tech Nine is a U.S. based sound.
Now, Nico and me are family, and even though we're family, we waited so long to start the sound there because I didn't know.
You grew up in Trinidad, or you grew up in New York?
No, I grew up in New York.
Okay. Let's talk about Africa because I know you've been to Africa. Some of the places you've been to in Africa.
Oh man!
And
Throughout
musically
the years, Kenya, Ghana, Gambia, Nigeria, Johannesburg, which is South Africa. I've been to Kenya. I mean, it's not like 6-7 places.
Okay.
But the experience is like you've never seen. You know?
You told me off camera that you're going back to Africa for 2017.
No, I'm going back to Africa next week. 2016.
2016.
Yeah.
Tech Nine back in Africa again.
Yeah.
Who you going at? Because I know you went out to Africa before with Octane, Fargo Sound. You're making another pilgrimage to the motherland again.
Yeah.
Who you going out there with this time?
Well, you know, like I try to bring different people to experience it. So I'm bringing Dynamic with me. Who's no stranger to Africa.
Yeah, I was about to say you bringing Dynamic here. He African.
But he's never been to Nigeria. When I tell you, Nigeria is a completely different vibe. It's not like anywhere it's a different vibe. You know, and we carrying Benetton the Menace this year.
Okay, big him up. I'm saying he got a lot of some hits going on right now too. What went behind that decision?
Well, the promoter, like I said, I've been going there for the last 5 years. So the promoter always leaves the artist part to me, and the DJ's part to me. So he asked me who would I suggest, and those are the ones I suggested. And Benetton has a lot of songs playing over there.
Okay, so now speaking of promoters putting decisions in your hands as far as artists and stuff like that, you got the shirt on, Tech Nine Promotions, but you got a couple of those. I seen you in the Tech Nine Studios shirt as well. What's going on as far as Tech Nine Studios, and when did that decision come about for you to actually start voicing dub plates for other sounds, linking artists, doing dub programs for other artists?
Well, Tech Nine Studio came about when that transition went from cassette to digital board. And the reason I started my studio is because I took my dubs to somebody to master them for me, and it turned into a bad situation. So
you don't want to call no names, right?
No, I'm not. I wouldn't want to call no names. It turned into a bad situation. Not no splicing or anything like that. It's just on the vibe, like it was just a bad vibe, and you know, I'm a very headstrong person. If I don't like how something is done, I learn it. I learn to do it myself.
Okay,
that's what I did.
So with that being said, we gonna delve into it because Tech Nine Studios, Tech Nine running dub sessions is something real big in the Sound Clash world right now. When did that decision come about? Who was the first artist that you actually did a dub plate session with? What was the reaction from sounds? And honestly, let's be honest. In 100% of the sound business, how many sounds would you say link Tech Nine sounds for dub plates at this point in time?
From 2004 to now?
Yes.
Madden, I kid you not, it's way over 1,000 sounds. You could think from the biggest to the smallest, to the never heard of before. There's a lot of sounds that I voiced for. And like I said, 12 years of work can't go unnoticed. 2004, I started my first studio session. Actually, it was with Johnny Osborne, who, you know, it has to start locally because...
I figured it was him.
Yeah, it has to be local because you're not going to get the trust of the Jamaican artist right away. And in anything we do, everything has to be spread word of mouth. So when I did my first few sessions, it wasn't for no sounds, it was for me. You know, I went and called in all the New York artists, you know, and I had them in the studio and we just went crazy and voiced. You know, even though I'm paying, you would pay for two and they would give you two. So it's like you would just take it from there. And that's when I would say, like, my dub plate voicing binge started. And I'm not talking for other sounds. The other sound thing came after the artist was like, yo, if you want dub, just let's go to Tech Nine Studio. You know, if I went to, they would recommend the sounds take their work to me. And that's how we build the rapport.
Global Clash 2016. We spoke to Bad Indian earlier. He's definitely ready. He definitely feel that confidence. You took on a couple clashes before that, and sitting back from my perspective, I felt like you was getting the sound together and getting the sound ready for Global Clash. Speaking of Global Clash 2016, what do you feel about the lineup? December 16th, Andrew Digital Global Clash.
Lineup is a good lineup, you know. It's a really, really good lineup. Every sound on the lineup brings a different element to the dance, which leads to not being no boring, regular, old tune dance all night. Because, you know, I'm an advocate for new tune. You know, when you talk about Stereo 5 and Rhythm Force, you know, those are two sounds that I've promoted in the past. And now they're giants. You know what I mean? And I would like to say I have a good eye for good talent.
Let's not gloss off of the fact that what you just said, that two of the biggest sounds on the lineup, you basically helped promote it, you brought to the forefront. King Stereo 5 from the Bronx, the wickedest sound out of the Bronx right now.
Okay.
And Rhythm Force, actually the defending champions. Rhythm Force was a sound actually doing their thing for years, but their re-emergence back on the scene was under one of your promotional banners.
Right.
Stereo 5, you've promoted them twice this year, I believe.
Right.
Big dancers, they came out the winner of both those dances. Now, moving into you competing against them. Tell us a little bit about that. How you feel competing against sounds that you actually felt like you helped push to the forefront.
I don't feel nowhere. You know what I mean? I feel that we as competitors can put all that friendship thing aside, war, get it all out, kill each other, and then go have a drink afterwards.
What about the other sounds on the lineup? Shout out to Step of Choice. Check out their interview. Big up my friend Badman Buju.
Yeah.
We got the interview up on Brite Lite Promotions right now. One a Day.
Yeah.
They're a sound that is on a lot of people's tongues right now. A lot of people is talking about One a Day sound. Platinum Cartel from the UK. And who else is on the lineup?
Tech Nine.
Tech Nine sound. Okay. Tell us about what you feel for the overall lineup. How do you feel is your chances going into the clash?
Well, as far as Platinum Cartel, One a Day, and Step of Choice, I think all of us are more on like a level vibes. The only thing Stereo 5 and Rhythm Force have on us is the Dennis Browns and the Garnet Silks and this and that. Now, here's the thing about that. I'm hoping, not even hoping, it would be in their best interest to play that dance without those artists. For one reason, because you know nobody else can play it. You understand what I'm saying? Don't use those tunes as a cushion. And that's what a lot of these sounds do. When things get sticky on them, they run for Garnet Silk, they run for Dennis Brown. Because they know you can't play it.
Okay, I want you to hold off on that talk. We're going to get back into that for a minute. Tech Nine sound, Tech Nine promotion, Tech Nine the studio. You're involved. You got a lot of hats on. We're going to launch the next dance. The last time we spoke, you had a big dance, one of the biggest dances of the year for 2016, which was Monteron versus Lynx.
Right.
You had a dance after that with Stereo 5. Shout out to King Animosity. Check out that interview on Brite Lite Promotions as well.
King Tubbies.
King Tubbies. Check out that interview on Brite Lite Promotions as well. You wear the promotional hat very well. You know exactly the temperature. You test the temperature of the room and you know what people want.
Right.
February 4th. Big lineup, big dance. Cosmic Movements versus Yari. Face Off 2017.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about what went behind the choice of those sounds and the lineup. We're going to start the launch right now. Face Off 2017 Tech Nine Promotions.
Well, I would say Face Off 2017 is a Brite Lite inspired clash. Why I say that is because the first time I even knew that Yared wanted to clash, Cosmic was on Brite Lite. If you notice, Brite Lite is a sponsor of the clash. So it all fell into place. You know, this would be the return of Cosmic after a short hiatus. So the spiciness behind this dance is the amount of tunes that both these sounds have, the amount of respect that the fans have for these sounds.
Look out for the Cosmic interview coming soon on Brite Lite Promotions. Look out for the Yari interview coming soon on Brite Lite Promotions. But before we get into that, the choice of both sounds. Both sounds, basically in 2016, they clashed. They came home with trophies. But the difference in the way they came home with the trophies was real crazy. As a promoter,
Yeah.
let's discuss that right now.
Okay.
The Cosmic dance, we both was in the dance. Shout out to the Jersey crew. We went out to Jersey. We traveled out there. We support dancers. King Shine versus Cosmic. King Shine basically led the majority of the dance. But Cosmic went home with the trophy. Then we move forward to Brooklyn Face Off, where Stumpy's, shout out to Stumpy's Sound, check out the interview on Brite Lite Promotions as well. They led most of the dance against Poison Dart and Yari. But at the end of the night, Yari took the trophy home. As a promoter, as someone, a patron, someone who support Clash, you was in both clashes. Tell me what was the difference, in your opinion, in both clashes.
Well, the difference between the two was Yared won because he played the dub for dub. And even though he didn't win the rounds, he won the dub for dub. You know, the crowd made that decision. The difference with the King Shine and Cosmic dance is the crowd never got to make that decision. Because when the promoter calls you up to come and finish the clash, and you don't finish the clash, officially, that's a forfeit. Even if you won every round, you still have to finish the clash. And that's how Cosmic got the trophy. So, Cosmic, if you're asking me, did Cosmic deserve the trophy? Yes.
Okay, I was in that dance, and I would say it was 3 rounds. I would score it the first 2 rounds to King Shine's, the last round to Cosmic.
Okay, so it was 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1.
Right.
But in my estimation, the fact that the promoter actually caught King Shine to the stage, it said a lot for the respect of the promotion.
If King Shine would have won all 3 rounds, then we would say King Shine deserved it.
But as a promoter, you put yourself in the promoter's shoe. If you feel like you paid the sound to perform on that night, and you call the sound to the stage, and the sound does not come to the stage. In your estimation, as a promoter, I want to ask you fairly, what would you consider at that point in time if you're calling the sound to the stage to perform and they do not forward to the stage?
I would have made the same decision that promoter made.
Okay.
You know,
so
you see, one thing I forgot that it was the Cosmic did win a round. And the reason I think I forgot that is because I left early. So I didn't really remember. But now that I think about it, if you win 2 rounds and that person wins 1 round, in all honesty, you didn't win the dance. That's what dub for dub is for, the deciding factor. Now, if me as a promoter say, yo, you have to come back to the stage and finish the dance, because it's not an official lock-off. You know what I'm saying? To me, a lock-off is 0. You win no rounds. If you win 2 and I win 1, how did you lock me off? So if I say come to the stage and finish dub for dub, and you don't do it, the sound that's there to play dub for dub automatically gets the trophy.
Okay. That's the words of the promoter. That's the words of a promoter, a very active promoter on the scene. I will take your word because you are the person actually hiring the sounds.
Right.
And that's what I think is getting lost in the translation. The promoter is actually the person hiring the sounds. Okay, moving forward, you hired Cosmic and Yari. Again, let's touch back on the Yari situation now, where you felt like they won the tune for tune, but the crowd basically gave. How do you feel about that situation with Yari Sound winning the tune for tune, but not winning any rounds? You go to every dance. You was in that dance tech now. Let's be honest. Let's talk about it.
Okay. Here's the thing that I realized over the years. And it's funny, over all the interviews I watch on Brite Lite, nobody has never said this. Music doesn't win dances anymore. Our time when we grew up in this thing, it was about music. People voted music. Nowadays, is who brings the most people in the clashes. So if I walk with 100 people to every clash, I win every clash. Cool. But I will never know the mistakes I make. You understand? That's why it takes other people's crowd to give you the win. But nowadays, it's like all I have to do is just buy 50 tickets off of Andrew Digital, come to Global Clash with 50 people, and just have them all huddled together and put up your hands anytime Tech-9 name call.
The funniest thing about that is, as a promoter, I love your argument right now. I understand what you're saying. But I'm an advocate for sounds bringing their fans to the dance. I've seen sounds win dances that they wasn't supposed to win just because of the fact that they had a crowd in the dance with them.
That's where me and you are wrong. I'm not saying sounds are not supposed to have fans. That's different. We're talking about the musical aspect. If you came to the dance for me and somebody else plays a way bigger tune than what I played, and you still put your hands up for me, that's not what goes.
2016, Tech-9 Promotions. You was definitely one of the people leading on the forefront with the one-on-one clashes. One of the biggest clashes that take place for this year, 2016, was Mataron versus Lynx. The outcome of the clash may have been one-sided.
Right.
I'm saying, but it was one of the most
well-attended
clashes
right.
this year. Amazura romped. What was your thoughts on the clash?
Well, as a promoter, all I cared about was the people that came. You know, but as when the dance was designed, wasn't designed for clash people only, which is why it got the result it did. You know, you have 2 of the biggest juggling selectors clashing in New York. You know, and when I constructed that dance, it was mostly targeted towards women. You know, as well as clash fans, because If you depended on Clash fans alone, you wouldn't have got more than 300 to 400 people in there, maybe 500. But when you brought that element of the juggling fans into it, it brought a whole bunch of neutral people into the event. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't just Clash fans who are a bunch of sound men that give selected forwards for tunes they like. This was people that gave forward for tunes they like, period. You understand? So that was the basis. That's one of the reasons why I think that dance was so successful.
It was almost like I noticed Damian Marley did the Jam Rock Cruise a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. It was almost like a celebrity clash.
Right.
I'm saying
right.
So, but Lynx, I would give him the credit for bringing the hardcore element to that celebrity
Lynx was
clash.
very well prepared. From the time Lynx got booked for that dance, that's all he wanted to focus on. You know, you have to give Lynx a lot of credit because his effort showed as the result of what he put out that night. You know, which allowed him to get the trophy to go home with, and it was just a phenomenal night. You know, even though it's one-sided, like you said, the experience was you couldn't ask for a better experience.
Okay. Moving forward, 2017, once again, February 4th, the face-off, Yari versus Cosmic. Younger sounds, smaller scale, smaller club. We're going to take it to Brooklyn, but the rivalry is definitely there. Like you said, once again, Yari, he made that step. He called out Cosmic way back on the Brite Lite interview. Mm-hmm. So it's a bit of animosity in this clash. We're looking forward to it. February 4th, once again, 2017, face-off, Tech-9 Promotions, Yari versus Cosmic. Apart from that, what's going on with Tech-9 Sound before we close out?
As you see, we involved in a couple of clashes here and there. You know, we have Global Clash, of course. Then we have in Jersey, January 28th.
Jersey Rumble.
Then we have, after that, we have Steel for Steel. March the 4th. Right. And then
shout out to the whole SCF family.
Yeah. So we have a couple of things coming up. We're not turning anything down right now.